Hey there, and welcome. Today, we're going to dive into a world where price tags don't really matter, and the only limit is your imagination. Let's get right into it. So just for a second, imagine you had a completely unlimited budget. What would you buy? A nice house? A fast car? Well, for a tiny slice of the population, the answers to that question go way, way beyond anything you might be thinking of.
So let's start with something we can all kind of wrap our heads around, personal items. But as you're about to see, the very definition of an accessory is about to get pushed to its absolute breaking point.
And get this, it's not just about accessories for people. When you have unlimited cash, even your pets can live a life of unbelievable luxury. We're talking diamond collars, five-star pet hotels, and even meals prepared by their own personal gourmet chefs.
Okay, so from pampered pets, let's switch gears to a totally different kind of obsession, time itself. For the most elite collectors, this passion turns into buying incredibly rare and complicated watches that can cost millions. And a lot of the time, these things are part of a huge collection that's never even worn.
All right, now this is where the whole idea of value really starts to get a little weird. You'd probably think a top-of-the-line luxury sports car is one of the most expensive things you can own, but in this world, not even close.
And this slide really breaks it down. A luxury car's value, it comes from its engineering, its performance. But a rare designer handbag, its value comes from something completely different, being ridiculously scarce and made from super exotic materials. And that combination can actually make it worth more than the car. It's wild.
Okay, so we've talked about personal items. Now, let's blow this wide open and talk about where people live, because these aren't just houses, they're more like private kingdoms.
You know, for some of the ultra-wealthy, a brand new mansion just doesn't cut it. The real prize is owning a piece of history itself, like buying a castle that's centuries old and then spending another fortune to turn it into a totally unique, modern home.
But why tie yourself down to one place, even if it's a historic castle? For others, the ultimate home isn't on land at all. No, it's a super yacht. Basically, a private floating palace that can sail anywhere in the world.
And it is almost impossible to picture the scale of these things. We're not just talking about a big boat here. These are massive ships. Some of them are actually longer than an entire American football field.
To put a number on it for you, they're regularly over 100 meters long.
Which is more than 328 feet. I mean, that is just a staggering length for something that is technically a private vehicle. It's not a boat, it's a moving estate.
And what's on board is just as mind-blowing. These things are basically self-contained little worlds. You can land your helicopter on the deck, go watch a movie in your full-size private cinema, and then, maybe go explore the ocean in your own personal submarine. So you've got this unbelievable floating palace. What could possibly top that? Well, how about you just get rid of the floating part and own the entire island? This is without a doubt the absolute peak of real estate. We're talking about private islands that are so big they need their own infrastructure, custom mansions, private airstrips, and sometimes even entire villages just to house all the staff needed to run the place.
So, we've seen some ridiculously extravagant items in homes, but what happens when the goal shifts from just pure luxury to owning something that is completely 100% unique?
For the absolute top tier of car collectors, buying a rare model from a dealership isn't enough. The real holy grail is to commission a one-of-one custom hypercar, a machine where you are literally the only person in the world who owns that specific design.
But we can go way, way further back in time than cars. Believe it or not, some collectors are now buying complete dinosaur fossils, artifacts that are tens of millions of years old.
And here's the really wild part. These priceless pieces of natural history, they're not always going to museums for the public to see or for scientists to study. Nope, they're being bought and installed in private homes, treated like a giant prehistoric sculpture. And if you think that's a strange concept of value, the art world takes it to a whole other level. It's a market where a collector will happily pay millions of dollars for a piece of art that, to you or me, might just look like a blank canvas. The value here isn't in the image. It's all in the concept and the artist's name.
All right, so we've seen it all, right? Accessories that cost more than a house, homes the size of a small town, priceless, one-of-a-kind artifacts. So what's left? What is the final frontier of spending when you can already buy anything and everything on Earth? The answer, it turns out, is pretty simple. You leave.
The most exclusive, the most extravagant purchase available to anyone today is a ticket to space.
And what do all those millions of dollars actually get you? Well, it's not an object you can hold or a property you can own. It's inexperience. It's the chance to feel total weightlessness for a few precious minutes and to see the Earth from a perspective that almost no one in human history has ever witnessed.
So after looking at everything from dinosaur bones in a living room to a quick trip to space, it really makes you wonder, doesn't it? In a world where you can own literally anything, what holds true value? Is it what you can hold, what you can build, or what you can experience?